evening, race fans. Welcome to the original Rebel Racing League's late night recruitment race, sponsored by Magic Mike Motorsports at the Milwaukee Mile. Gonna be a good one. One of their third recruitment races before the season kicks off next week. So still time to get in on the action. If you can make it, you do not want to miss it. Bunch of great drivers, really cool people in these leagues. So hop on in, get out there when you get the opportunity. You do not want to miss this good time. Right now, single car qualifying is underway. We're watching William Griffith try and put down some laps, the number 12 machine. We've also got Magic Mike Iribe out there. Iribe and the 77 Chevrolet going to try and put down some good lap time, see if he can put it on top of the board. But guaranteed to be a good night here at the Milwaukee Mile. Definitely a tough track. Let me check something real quickly. The Monster Mile, excuse me. All right, got that corrected, but we're looking at Iribe, see if he can put down a good time. Puts him so far fourth on the board. Number 77 machine, so about 2/10 separated from him from Clint Rice, who's currently on top of provisional pole. Then Colton Lanford in the 25 machine, he just headed out. Lanford in the 25. One of the only D-class drivers in the iRacing service that's out here tonight for the recruitment race. We're going to see if the up-and-comer can make something happen in that 25 machine, but it doesn't look like he... Oh, no, he has an internet blink and gets back out there. Expecting some hopefully good clean racing today. These slightly smaller fields, 20 to 25 drivers or so, allows guys to kind of work on their racecraft a little bit more than a 43 car field. A little bit less bumping and grinding, a little bit of less aggression there. So gives these guys a chance to hone their skills, get used to working with everybody before they go out for the season opener next week. Again, these guys are going to be racing at 11 p.m. every Tuesday night. You don't want to miss it. Just got reports from one of the crew chief, Brett Redder, the guy running this show. He had a bad qualifying session, had a little bit of a spin on the white flag lap for him. So Brett Redder currently does not have a time down so far. So Redder is going to be starting at least 17th or 18th tonight in the 97 machine. He may be able to collect it, get back out there for qualifying. Well, we got about a little over a minute left in qualifying. As we catch David Sarwell Cornell just in time, has a little bit of a moment around these high bankings of Dover and see him hit the wall, but he did put down a second place provisional qualifying time with a 21.92. So not many guys getting separated here. You can see on the field about 0.76 seconds separate pole of Rockefeller all the way down to Mr. Williams and I machine. So expecting some nice clean racing here tonight. Not sure if anybody else is going to be able to go out. We show Rockefeller going out again for some reason. Rockefeller always running that number 12 Spider-Man car. One of the cooler paint jobs we get to see here at the original Rebel Racing League. So Rockefeller may be going out and just getting an eye at the track before we go out for our season, or excuse me, our last recruitment race before the season kicks off. So taking time, getting an eye of what's going on the racetrack and seeing what might be going on. So far we've got Chuck Pegleg Phelps, Brett Redder, Jeremiah Kershaw, Brandon Wallace. None of those guys have put down qualifying times so far. I believe we're about to see Pegleg go out, though. He's got no more time. believe we're about to send it into the race here, so I'm not sure if Pegleg is going to get down a qualifying time or not, or if he just missed the cut. 16 drivers put down time so far. We see Jeremiah Kershaw, he's going out as well, trying to put it down a last-minute time. Pegleg Feltz, he's had some good luck in the recruitment races in that marine painted Chevrolet. He's also had a few strokes of bad luck as well, getting involved in some crashes and not quite able to finish where he wants, and we know where he can finish. You can see just how loose these guys are getting coming out of 4. It's one of those weird tracks. The first few laps is going to be very snap loose, exiting the corners. And then as the run develops, it's going to be painfully tight. Diving into 1, diving into 3. Those cars are going to push up the racetrack and be a little bit less enjoyable to run. We see Pegleg, he puts down a 22.55. Kershaw put down a 22.32 in his qualifying. So Kershaw bumps himself up to a provisional 9th, while Pegleg sitting in 17th. Mr. Feltz is going to call it there, and the 75 machine decides, hey, that's good enough. Kershaw is going to finish up his run as well. Going to be sitting in 9th for Mr. Kershaw. So good run. Gets him about middle of the field here. Only 2 drivers did not put down qualifying laps. That's Brett Redder and Brandon Wallace in the 97 and 99 machine. Both really fast guys, so a little unfortunate to see them not able to go out there and put down the times they're looking for. If you're watching from across the world, let us know who's your favorite to win this thing tonight. We're always looking for fan feedback whenever we're given the opportunity. Is it going to be current pole setter Jason Rockefeller, or is it going to be a new face? But let's get ready to take it to the grid. Starting on pole, it's going to be Jason Rockefeller, followed by David Sartwell Cornell. Jeff Paisley will be starting in 3rd, with Clint Rice right behind him in 4th. Brett Grunewald starting 5th, Peyton Johnson 6th. Charlie Gates will be starting 7th, Joshua Thompson 8th. Jeremiah Kershaw will be 9th, Mike Iribe in 10th. Nicholas Wacker will be 11th, and Hitman Mozo in 12th. You got Jerry LeGrand in 13th, Brandon Pollock 14th, William Griffith in 15th. Colt Lanford will be starting 16th tonight. Chuck Feltz in 17th, Ryan Williams 18th. Brett Redder will be in 19th, and then Brandon Wallace will be starting 20th to bring home our field of 20 drivers. We're going to wait for that iRacing pace car to send him out. You've got Cornell. He's already in there. Still waiting on Rockefeller, I believe. Rockefeller jumping to the pit, so not sure if he has something going on there. Might be starting from the back. It looks like he is. So that's going to shake it up already. It looks like Rockefeller will be starting from pit lane. Not sure if he had problems getting on there on the grid or what might have happened. And again, major thanks to Magic Mike Motorsports, tonight's sponsor. Always a great company to work with, to talk to in the paddock. They support sim racers on and off the track, so check them out, Magic Mike Motorsports. But we're going to form these guys up and get ready to go. Now, a little bit of broadcaster prediction here. We're going to hope to see some green flag runs. These guys are going to have the tread and tire wear available to really push hard for maybe 10, 15 laps. After that, you're going to see a little bit more single file action as everybody's fighting a very tight car. But all eyes are now on David Sartwell Cornell and Jeff Paisley, our top 2. David Sartwell Cornell in the number 17 machine gets a big launch, but here comes Jeff Paisley, the number 7. On the outside, Peyton Johnson. Brett Grunewald is going to be on the inside. Looks like it's going to be Johnson gets the worst of that deal. He settles in for 3rd. He's going to drop down behind Paisley and Sartwell Cornell. Cornell's getting a good launch. Number 7, Jeff Paisley, he's eyeing it, looking down the inside of the racetrack. We do have a crash. Not sure if the caution is going to come out. Clint Rice involved in a single car incident. Peyton Johnson backs up just a little bit, and Brett Grunewald kind of starts to get a run on the outside there, trying to make it happen. We just saw Clint Rice in the corner of your screen. He did get low off the racing line, so the caution will not come out. Sartwell Cornell, he's putting down some flyers right now. He's about 0.4 of a second faster than the rest of the field, so that's going to really shake things up. Looks like live timing. There we go, got it back. Looks like it kind of lost its mind for a second, maybe with that early incident. But Sartwell Cornell still running out front. Peyton Johnson in second, and then Brett Grunewald right behind him. So all these guys within a car flag. Oh no, Hitman Mozo's down. Chuck Pegleg is involved in an incident. Let's see if we get a replay on that one. So look at the top of your screen there. Looks like Manzo and Felch just kind of get together. Let's get one more, a little bit tighter camera angle on that one. Let's get the Magic Mike Motorsports sponsored slow motion replay going on. So look at the number 44. That's Hitman Mozo. Pegleg Felch in the 75 machine. Shows time and scoring is 75, but he's running the number 8 tonight. That's a tough one to call. Not sure if Manzo went up the racetrack or if they came down or what that could have been. But around and around he goes. The field does a good job checking up so nobody else gets involved in that one, but the 44 is going to take a hard hit on the inside wall. Oh no, that is Feltz involved. So that was Feltz at the tail end of that kind of got into Manzo and brought out a little bad luck. So that was actually Nicholas Wacker on the number 8 machine that was originally involved in the incident, but managed to keep it relatively okay. But that will be our first caution of the night on lap 5. So we're going to re-rack them. They've got a long way to go if this is how the race is going to go. I think things are going to settle out once once the field gets a little bit more comfortable where they're falling at in this running order. We see Feltz. He's coming into pit lane to get his car worked on at the bottom of your screen. Manzo, I believe, has made it out back already. And the top 3 running order is going to stay the same. David Sartwell Cornell, Peyton Johnson, Brett Grunewald still in those top 3 positions. So now you're going to see guys getting a little bit tighter. Only 7, let's call it 5 really good laps into this. So about the lap 15 to 17 mark, you'll see lap time starts to drastically fall off and lines getting a little bit more front end pushy as these guys murder that front right tire. But now they still got a good bit of clean rubber underneath them. And you can expect to see some passing. I'm not sure if we're going to see Peyton Johnson or Brett Grunewald push the issue too much. And interested to see what Jason Rockefeller is doing. The 12 machine started off on pole, then jumped to the pits, and I believe started from the pit. So he might be trying to get a little bit of race practice before the season kicks off next week. Or he might have had something going on. We'll have to ask him later on in the race and see if he can give us an update. Or we're going to re-rack him double file here. And watch David Sartwell Cornell. He's been getting good launches in every recruitment race we've broadcasted Right now, he looks like he could be the man to beat. But here we go. Pace car will be in this time by already seeing the race stripes around the top of the track there from drivers using every inch of track available, even if there isn't any, getting into those safety barriers just a bit. One of those tracks that looks simple to drive and is not. The longer you run it, the harder it gets, especially with these high horsepower cars. It can lead to some very, very good excitement. I know I've ran some open truck series stuff here, and the first 10 laps can be a handful because everybody wants to run as loose as they can, and then as the run develops, everything gets really, really tight, and you'll see the pace drastically fall off. The best of the session so far is the low 22.2. I believe that's going to be from Peyton Johnson. So we expect to see some 23s, 24s if this thing can stay green for a while here. Pace car is in. Sarwell Cornell gets a great, great launch. Peyton Johnson's still going to be second. Brett Grunewald third. Josh Thompson fourth. Jeff Paisley moves up to fifth. Mike Uribe, he drops down to sixth, it looks like. And here's your battle for third right now. Brett Grunewald, Joshua Thompson are going to go back and forth here. Grunewald runs the high line. That's going to allow Thompson to get by pretty quickly. Here comes Jeff Paisley as well. He saw Grunewald make a mistake. He wants to capitalize early on the run while he has the traction to do so. Oh, look at that fleet of cars behind him, too. People are going 2-3 wide, trying to get their positions sorted out. We'll see if we can get a camera angle on those guys. We're looking at William Griffith Jr. in the mix of it. Both of these guys running number 12 machine. So Jason Rockefeller, he's in the red and black number 12. William Griffith is in the yellow car right there. Oh, no, what happened? Number 55 takes a big, big ride. That's 55 Charlie Gates Jr. Let's get a replay on that one. And multiple guys going to be involved in that. Charlie Gates Jr., Hitman Mozo, Clint Rice, Nicholas Wacker, all involved. So you're watching the number 55, Charlie Gates. That's what the live timing shows is the initial accident. We'll see what happens here. Didn't quite catch it in time live. Not sure if he just got a little bit rear end loose or what might have happened there. But next thing you know, you see him sliding down the racetrack. The number 77 in front of him looks like he's holding strong. Such a cool shot. Looks like, I'm not sure if that was netcode or if he started dodging the car that got loose in front of him, or maybe he got snapped loose as well. But he dives down the racetrack, locks it up, and I think it's going to go from bad to worse here. So look at the number 55 is locked up. Let's see who might get into him. Oh, that's the number 44. Hitman Mozo gets into him. Then Manzo, oh, God, he goes around, gets into the 42 machine. That's going to be Clint Rice involved. And things just kind of catapult. And then, oh, man, poor Nicholas Wacker, he gets tagged out of nowhere. And just like that goes from bad to worse. We're going to see if we can get Mr. Mike Uribe up in the booth. Let us know what the in-car view is looking like tonight. Mr. Uribe, is James in the booth? Do you read me?
Hey, gotcha, buddy.
Uribe, it looks like it's a rough night so far. What's it looking like from inside the car?
Well, you know, just as long as you can keep up with everybody else up front, you know, you'll be okay. I see where everybody back behind us is having a little bit of a rough time. Coming off the turn's a little tricky. It gets a little loose, and for some of the people, it gets to be a little bit too loose, and they loose the rear end on it. But everybody's been doing a good job of checking up and staying on the brakes instead of rolling out in front of somebody. But then, you know, we're looking for a good top 5 tonight, and like to thank everybody for tuning into the broadcast and everything. And hard racing, but good racing.
Awesome, Mike. Well, we greatly appreciate it. We look forward to you doing well tonight. Later on the season, we'll get you back to your team channel.
All right, thank you much.
All right, that was Magic Mike Aribe, the number 77 machine. Currently running fifth, so doing a good job keeping that Cup car clean so far. We got folks from across the world that are cheering for Lanford and Feltz. So two drivers getting a little bit of love from across the world. Greatly appreciated for those guys. Lanford, he's currently running 8th place right now. I don't believe Mr. Feltz has made the race tonight. So Lanford's got to be the fan favorite since Feltz wasn't able to make it. Second caution of the night on lap 14. Lanford having a little bit of problems there. So now running towards a little shaken up. You still got David Starwell Cornell. He's been running up front. Peyton Johnson's moved up to second. Josh Thompson third. Jeff Paisley fourth. Jason Rockefeller has moved his way back up to fifth or sixth, I believe. So Rockefeller, after starting from the pits, going for the Make-Believe Hard Charger Award. So let's see if Rockefeller has something for the guys towards the end of this race, if he can work his way all the way back up to the front. If he's doing too good, we might give him the old EOL, move him back, make him do it again. Much like the All-Star race we saw in NASCAR on Fox this week. That was an exciting one. No spoilers in case you haven't watched it, but you definitely should. If you're a racing fan, there's some very good, clean, hard racing. As someone who just kind of got into the NASCAR scene earlier this year, between iRacing and watching live broadcasts, you really have a better appreciation of what these guys are going through out there and how difficult it is. Everybody jokes and says, go fast, turn left, but until you're actually doing it in sim or real life, you can't really appreciate it, just how hard it can be. Seeing a lot of love from Thompson and Rockefeller from fans across the world. Love to see it. Love to tell those drivers they've got the support from everyone. And as always, we thank you for tuning in. On behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, I'm James East, pushing it out in 1080p, 60 frames a second. And just like that, as soon as we can do a little bit of a shout out to the channel, we've got a yellow flag. It's going to be Nicholas Wacker involved. So watch Wacker. He's in the number 8 machine on the high side of your screen. No, excuse me, he's on the low side. So a lot of guys running duplicate numbers for some reason tonight. Oh, no. That's the other number 8. Not quite sure who that was. I think Ryan Williams, perhaps. But he's going to get into Wacker and send him on a spectacular ride. So, yeah, that is Ryan Williams. Lifetime, he shows him with the number 9 machine. But he's also running number 8. So these are recruitment races, so they're not big sticklers for the numbers quite yet. Now later on in the season, all these drivers will have to have the proper numbers on their custom paint schemes. They will have to have the obligatory sponsorship banners if they are in effect. So they've got a little bit of time to get these things sorted out. Now, Peyton Johnson, number 15 machine, he's running that beautiful Turn 3 livery tonight. Turn 3, excellent broadcasters. I believe Roger, one of the main guys over there, had a little bit of tough times here lately. I believe it was a car crash. So if you follow the Turn 3 guys as well as the Team Goon Squad guys, give him a shout. Let Roger know, hey, I'm thinking of you, as he gets back to full health. And just he's a great guy, great broadcaster, so hate to see him having that bad luck. So, Roger, if you're listening tonight, man, we're still cheering for you, and we hope you do well. So we're going to re-rack him. I believe that's our third caution for the night. So, guys still coming to grips with everything. This is a very tough track to get dialed in. These guys are on the same setups tonight, so a fixed setup series. The only thing they can change is their steering ratio, so you can make the wheel turn more or less depending on what your flavor of driving is with how much wheel input you get. These guys can change their brake bias up to front and rear. Some of these drivers you'll see changing that as the run develops. And that is pretty much it for the most part tonight. They are on the same equipment. Money is no option here on iRacing. You can run something identical to all your friends. and not worry about not having the best equipment. You're on the same thing as everyone else as far as cars go. Now here at Dover, these guys are given 3 sets of tires, 2 quick repairs for tonight. So they do have 2 quick repairs since it is a recruitment race, gives them a little bit of leeway. So you'll see as few of those guys involved in incidents go ahead and taking that repair so they can stay on the lead lap, get back out there, and then have a chance of running it. We talked about Rockefeller earlier about how he started from pit lane, is working his way up. Rockefeller up to 5th already. So the number 12 car, definitely somebody to keep an eye on as this run develops. But David Starwell Cornell, he's going to collect a whole bunch of laps led here. Starwell Cornell bringing it to you live from New England. So this is a late night league, and he absolutely means it. So it's going to be 11 o'clock start time for him up there in the Northeast. But here we go. It's time to go live as we get ready for that pace car to come in. This will be the last formation lap. These guys have over 100 laps to go, so with a little bit of luck, they'll keep it clean for at least a couple laps. Get things sorted out, and with a little luck, we'll see some green flag pit stops. Our favorite things to see. Allows the field to work on different strategies instead of start, stop, repeat. But let's get ready. Pace car will be in this time by David Starwell Cornell's been getting great launches all night, but don't forget about Peyton Johnson on that Highline, the 15 machine. He's got great pace. Josh Thompson, he's in the mix now in 3rd. He's up 5 spots from where he started in the lone Toyota up there. In a field of Fords and Chevys, it is Josh Thompson in 3rd trying to bring it home in that Toyota. That Tracker Boats and ATV paint scheme's looking great, looking patriotic. And they're away. Starwell Cornell gets another huge launch. Peyton Johnson's going to drop into 2nd, followed by, looked like, let's get a little bit better angle there. Oh, there we go. We got Josh Thompson. He's riding the inside, trying to make a move on Jeff Paisley. He makes it on the backstretch. He's going to have the inside line going into 3 right here. Looks like he's going to make it stick as Paisley's still running that mid to high line. Here comes Jason Rockefeller, the number 12 machine. He sees Paisley and Thompson battling right in front of him. He knows that's going to slow those guys down just a little bit. Paisley's still running about a lane higher than Josh Thompson, is running all the way low. Rockefeller looks like he's running that low to midline as well. Less than a car length separates Josh Thompson and Jeff Paisley right now. And it looks like Peyton Johnson's going to try and make a move on the leader as well. Johnson in 2nd. He's running a little bit lower line than Starwell Cornell. Not sure if it's going to allow him to carry a little bit more speed, or if Starwell Cornell is going to carry more speed at the sacrifice of traction and tire wear here. A lot of different lines developing, a lot of good racing. Take it back to Jason Rockefeller. He's on the inside of Jeff Paisley now. Paisley gets pinched up the wall, gets a little bit loose with a little bit of a tap, manages to hold on to it, and a big crash behind him. Mike Uribe involved, William Griffith involved. Jeremiah Kershaw off track, Jerry LeGrand, Jeremiah Kershaw, Hitman Manzo, he's in the crash. Oh, that's going to be a big one here at Dover. See if we get the slow motion replay. So watch Mike Uribe in the 77. Excuse me, the number 12 car. So it looks like he just gets into the outside of 97 there. That's going to be Brett Redditor. And then carnage ensues. No, excuse me, Mike Uribe in the 77. He's in the blue car there. And we're going to take it back to Brett Redditor. He looks like he got out of it relatively clean. We saw William Griffith involved. So Griffith showing as 14 actually the number 12 car, I believe. Then Uribe just gets into him. Redder gets through relatively unscathed, but man, what a ride does William Griffith go on. Can't even begin to count the amount of spins there. Everybody's doing the right thing. Uribe touched on it earlier. Everybody's locking up the brakes. Oh no, the crashes just keep happening. So that was Jerry LeGrand. The 28 machine gets into the high wall, and then just like that, absolute parking lot on this racetrack. Fourth caution, 26 laps in. Not a good rolling average so far. Hopefully these guys can get it sorted out, but for the most part, some really good, clean racing up front. Guys are passing safely in the top 5 at least. Keeping a good job of making it clean. It's just that mid to back pack, everybody's really anxious, wants to gain some spots as quickly as they can. And speaking of spots gained, Jason Rockefeller moved his way up to 4th. The top 3 remains the same though. David Sartwell Cornell, Peyton Johnson, Joshua Thompson are top 3. Brett Redder, he's up 13 positions so far, so definitely our hard charger in the number 97. And I believe that's going to leave 16 cars on the lead lap, maybe 15 as we see Brandon Pollock, he comes into pit lane. So on average, we're getting 6 to 7 lap runs of green right now before calamity ensues. You're not going to see guys taking tires, so I don't think either the lap 40 mark or most likely the lap 50 to 60 mark is we're going to see people coming in, grabbing some fresh tires, grabbing a little bit of fuel. Because at this rate, fuel's not a big concern for these drivers. With the I-pacing they're doing, you don't have to worry too much about blowing through a full tank of gas. You can click it into neutral, or you'll even hear some of the drivers turn the car completely off and then bump start it coming down the banking to save even more fuel. As always, if you're following along at home tonight, don't forget to drop us a like or a sub here on YouTube. It helps support your favorite drivers. It helps build the channel and get the name out there for these guys. The more eyes on you have on your favorite league, the better chance it has for those guys securing sponsorships. Helps them out immensely. So thank you to everybody that already liked and shared. We greatly appreciate it. We see you out there. And this wouldn't be possible without you guys at home. We do truly appreciate you guys. So it looks to be about 15 drivers still on the lead lap, so not too terrible. 2 drivers out, Williams, who called it an early night, and Wallace, who I don't believe ever made the grid. Jeremiah Kershaw has the opportunity to get a lucky dog or 2 or 3, judging by how things are going so far. But we're going to re-rack and wait for the pace car to come in. David Sartwell Cornell's been putting on a clinic so far. Looks like later on in that last run, Peyton Johnson at 15 was trying to get his nose in there and maybe battle for the lead. Josh Thompson's doing great in that Toyota. He's up to 3rd right now. Jason Rockefeller 4th. Jeff Paisley 5th. Let's get ready to take them green. Here we go again at Dover. Pace car is in. We're waiting on Sartwell Cornell. He gets a big launch. Number 13, Josh Thompson, didn't quite have the launch he wanted, but he almost had a run on Peyton Johnson. Oh, here comes a 3-way battle for 4th. Jeff Paisley, he's on the inside. He's behind Joshua Thompson. Rockefeller's running the high line. Here comes Clint Rice as well in the 42 machine, doing a good job on that Exxon painted Ford Mustang. Oh, they get a little bit loose, a little bit back and forth. Here comes Redder. He's in the mix on the high side. He's running high of Jason Rockefeller now. Rockefeller doing his best not to hit his buddy in the 97 machine. They're riding really close. All these guys try to push as hard as they can. Rockefeller goes back to the inside of Redditor. Redder yields a position. He knows it's early on in this run. Nobody wants to be the cause of another caution. The number 5, Brett Grunewald, he's in the mix too. All these guys battling hard. Rockefeller's chasing down Clint Rice. Who's that on the low line? I believe that's Brett Grunewald. And we've got a battle for the lead here. Peyton Johnson and Sarwell Cornell battling side by side. Josh Thompson's in tow. Cornell's running the high line. Johnson and Thompson on the low line. Paisley, he goes low as well, trying to get that draft. It looks like Cornell's going to gain back first place and secure it without any heavy blocking. That's going to stack the field behind them a little bit, and that's where things get exciting. Just like that, you see Jeff Paisley get a little bit loose, the number 7 machine. He's going to lose a spot to, I believe, Brett Redder and Jason Rockefeller with that one. Top 3 drop down single file. There's your battle for 5th, though. It's going to be Redditor running 6th right now. Right behind him, Colton Lanford, Jeff Paisley. Yellow flag is out, though, as William Griffith takes a tumble. So look at Griffith, the number 4, the number 12 there. Looks like he just kind of gets loose all by himself. Starts to snap on him. Oh, that was a violent crash to the inside wall. So nobody else collecting that, but it does look like that's gonna start our first pit cycle of the night. Everyone's staying in except for Clint Rice, who's gonna put the number 42 board on top. You've got Rice, he stayed out. His last pit stop was on lap 12. Colt Lanford stays out. Brett Grunewald, Hitman Monzo, all 3 of those guys stay out. Now everybody except Lanford, I believe, has pitted once already this cycle. Rice, Grunewald, Monzo, Uribe, Polak, all pitted between lap 20 and 25. So Lanford's going to be the only guy on original tires right now. As you hear a little bit of fuel saving going on from our field, they're going to try and stretch that run out as long as they can. Clint Rice is going to score at least a couple laps led just by staying out. Colton Lanford is going for the long haul. He has not boxed yet. Polak of the number 1 machine, he came in and decided to pit on that go. Maybe trying to get a little bit of damage done, or we're just throwing on 4 new tires and maybe banking on a long green flag run. But right now it doesn't look like that is going to be the case for tonight, as we are on our 5th caution, 36 laps into this. For those of you that are doing a little bit of napkin math at home, that has bumped up our green flag lap average to a little over 7. So we're getting there yellow by yellow. So maybe these guys will be able to get some good green flag runs going on the end of it. Again, this is a recruitment race, so guys are trying some different strategies, trying a little bit different driving styles to get ready before our season opener next week. So that should be a guaranteed good time. Now for those, points are a big, big thing. So as much as guys want to get out there and get a win for a championship, the biggest thing is finishing consistently. So maybe you might see a little bit calmer drivers going into next week. Everybody a little bit less likely to hang it wide open on the opening laps. Because you can't win a championship early on into the season, but you can sure lose it if you find yourself crashing out or being crashed out in the first few races. Now, if you want to get on the action, check them out. These guys are still recruiting. The Original Rebels Racing Late Night League. A lot of fun to drive, a lot of fun guys to hang out with even when you're not racing. You can hop in the Discord, meet the drivers, meet the admins. Everybody's very approachable, great group of guys here. Can't say enough things about them, honestly. They've been extremely welcoming so far. So always glad to be calling their races here. So let's see what Rice and Lanford have. Lanford is on his original set of tires. They're about 35, 37 laps old. Can he get a good launch, or is he going to get wheel spin? Tires should still be manageable at this point in. They've done about 20, 25 laps of green flag runs. So they're starting to get a little bit warmed up too much, and a little bit traction falling off, but manageable at this point. But he's surrounded by drivers with fresh tires. Rice, Grunewald, Manzo, all pitted on lap 12. Behind them, you had previous race leader David Starbo Cornell and a fleet of very, very fast drivers on 4 new tires. Let's watch Rice. He stacks the field a little bit, gets a good launch. Cole Lanford's going to drop in low behind him. And let's see how long these guys can hold on to it. Rice running great so far. There's a crash behind him. I believe that's going to be Joshua Thompson possibly involved. Yeah, Josh Thompson, Peyton Johnson, Chuck Pegleg Feltz all involved. That's not good. So look at Josh Thompson. He's number 13. Just gets bumped by Rockefeller, I believe, and sends him around. So, ooh. That number 13 machine spin like a top. Oh, man, some of these cars just nowhere to go. Major props number 8 machine. He gets through clean, but Josh Thompson, Peyton Johnson, Pegleg Phelps all involved in that one. So a lot of fast cars will be using that fast repair early on as we once more bring out the caution here at Dover Speedway. The original Rebels Racing League, racing 7 days a week and twice on Sunday, so you have the opportunity to come out and have a great time. Always appreciate our guys, our admins helping out, chipping in. It makes it fun and exciting, gives these drivers something to do on the weekend, keeps me fun employed, and helps sponsor my real-life racing efforts. So without these guys, none of that would be possible. So always major thanks to Original Rebel Racing League. An absolute tongue twister when you're doing 11 p.m. broadcast, but we're making it through and always having a good time. So we're about a third of the way through the race tonight. 6 cautions so far. And Clint Rice so far had a good plan. He stayed out, and it's going to allow him to regain and maintain first place number 42 machine. So Brandon Pollock, Josh Thompson, they're in the pits. A lot of fast cars involved in a few of these incidents. It's making it really, really tough for these guys to get a flow going. Every time they have these cautions and everybody comes in and out on different tire strategies, these guys are using their 2 allotted fast repairs for this recruitment race. It makes such a varying speed difference among our drivers. And that's where accidents can really, really happen. If you're 50, 60 laps, if you're making it 50, 60 laps on a run, guys kind of get their groove in. They're all in the same tire strategy. Nobody can push too much more aggressive than everybody else. It makes for a little bit cleaner racing, but cautions breed cautions when everybody's on different tire sets and fast repairs at this point. Makes it a little bit more dicey. Big thanks to Matt Kleeman. He's in the chat tonight supporting his favorite drivers. Always good to see the other guys in the league hopping in, giving their feedback, enjoying the show. We greatly appreciate them. Without drivers, you can't really have a league, much less a broadcast. That's what makes sim racing so much fun. You've got ladies and gentlemen from all across the world on a Tuesday night, midnight on the East Coast, 9 p.m. on the West Coast, having a good time and just enjoying it for what it is, a bunch of grown-ups playing race car driver on the internet. We're going to re-rack them. I believe Race Control mentioned they may be going to single-file restarts until things settle down a little bit. That's what we're going to see here, a single-file start. Clint Rice up front, stacking up the field, it looks like. As he goes very, very slow around the racetrack. He's going to really stack that field up. Green flag is out. The 42 is going behind him. Brett Grunewald, Mike Uribe in third. David Sarwell Cornell fourth. Brett Redder's moved up to fifth. He's up 14 spots so far. As it looks like things may be calming down a little bit. That at least allowed the field to stretch out some. And here we go. Number 77, Mike Uribe gets swallowed up by the field. He might have had a moment there. Brett Redder gets around him pretty clean. Here comes Hitman Manzo. He's riding the inside of that 44 machine. Mike Uribe on the outside in the 77. Uribe tries to get down low to pinch Manzo. Doesn't make it happen. And here comes Jason Rockefeller, the number 12 car. He wants in on the action as well. Number 7, Jeff Paisley gets pushed to the outside. Tries to drop down low, but they're bumping and grinding, trying to get past. Rockefeller making a move on Manzo now. A lot of good racing here. Jeff Paisley, Manzo going back and forth. Paisley's running that low line, trying to edge out Manzo, running the high line. So he's going to slide up the racetrack, get back in that preferred groove that lets you carry a little bit more speed. And he's going to make a good, clean pass. Number 44 Hitman machine. Oh, big single car crash. But no caution? All right, we're going to keep it green. We're going to keep running. I think that was the number 25 of Colton Lanford involved in a single car incident. Looks like the car just kind of got loose and then snapped across on him. Wasn't able to hold on to it. He may have crashed outside the racing service, which does not trigger an automatic caution here on iRacing. Jason Rockefeller grabs another spot. Oh, no, he gets to the side of Uribe. Uribe going to hold on to it with a spectacular save. Oh, that could have been much, much worse. Uribe just doing his best. Oh, he's holding on for dear life. Hold on to it, Mike. Peyton Johnson having internet problems. Uribe is trying to, it looks like he's trying to get down to pit road, but he's having car problems. Oh, we got to watch this. And bated breath. Uribe doing his best to get outside the racing line, but it looks like that car is fighting him really, really bad. Not sure if he has a cut tire or not. It looks to me like he's trying to get down to the apron, but just can't with so many cars going on around him. Maybe he's been able to gather it up, but it looks, man, looks like Mike's having a really tough time in that 77 machine. As he once again gets in the wall, he's going to dive down the racetrack across traffic, goes back up to 28. 28 saves it. Uribe's going to have to bring it in here. He's going to ride down the apron and bring it home. Oh, that was just a crash waiting to happen for 3 laps in a row. So well done to Uribe for managing to keep it relatively clean there. This is your battle for second. You got Brett Grunewald, David Sarwell Cornell, Jason Rockefeller all in a pack here. Trying to avoid some of the carnage here. But, I mean, as close as we got that last couple laps, things could have been much, much worse. Now, I don't want to jinx it with the commentator's curse, but it looks like they might be stretching things out a little bit here and running a little bit cleaner. The top four pretty spread out. About 1.4 seconds separates first through fourth right now. Now you have the opportunity to see a little bit of tire strategy come into play. And only 13 drivers still on the lead lap so far. Here comes Rockefeller. He's taking a look at Sartwell Cornell. Both of these guys pitted the last time together on lap 34, so they're on the same length set of tires. Now, as less drivers are out there, more people involved in the incident, it becomes a game of cautions. Looks like Grunewald slowed way up. And now it's going to be a three-way battle for second. Grunewald second, Sartwell Cornell third, Rockefeller fourth. A little bit different lines developing. You see Rockefeller run the inside line. So was Sartwell Cornell. They made quick work of Grunewald. He had a moment or something to slow down that number 5 machine. Not sure if he got a little bit loose and scared himself, or maybe a wall tap that could affect the aero on that number 5 Ford Mustang. So now you've got Jason Rockefeller. He's running that mid to low line still. We call it the top of the bottom groove. Rockefeller right in tow. Uribe, he's back out there. He's going to circulate, try and wait for a caution, maybe get some laps back. But the battle for second just keeps getting better and better. While these guys are doing that, though, it looks like Rice is able to get a little bit more time on him. Sartwell Cornell having to drive a little bit more defensively as he's got Rockefeller all over the rear of that 17 machine. Oh, Cornell goes the inside. Rockefeller tries the outside. Cornell glued to the bottom of the apron there, using every little bit. Gets a little bit loose, too much apron it looks like from the number 17 machine. And Jason Rockefeller is now in second with a pretty commanding lead. Uribe, he's back up there the lead cars as well. He does have fresh tires. They're much, much newer. So Uribe, he's got about 20-something lap newer tires. He's going to have the pace to run down the top three, maybe get his lap back. We know he has the talent. Now he has the fresh car and the fresh tires. But Uribe, he gets a little bit low on that apron. These guys are trying to make the racetrack as short as they can, but if you get too much tire on that apron, it's going to really upset the car. You go from banking to flat, the suspension gets out of whack, and the car's kind of at a teeter-totter angle. And that's where you're going to see those guys get violently loose off the exit. But here comes Rockefeller. He's chasing down Clint Ryston first. Number 42 machine is on much older tires. His last pit stop was on lap 12 compared to Rockefeller, who pitted on lap 34. Rockefeller is going to get by as Clint Rice goes to the high line. Uribe is going to throw his name in there. He's going to try and get a tow from Rockefeller and try and get his lap back. So now Rockefeller back up to first from starting the pits. Definitely our hard charger of the night. Uribe, though, right behind him, is trying to get his lap back, but looks like he's still fighting the car in that number 77. So Uribe shows as, I believe, 3 or 4 laps down right now. So he's just going to try and get every lap back he possibly can. Now, a cool fun fact, Uribe, Manzo, Phelps, Paisley, Thompson, all of these guys pretty much in every league that the original Rebel Racing League puts on. That's from Kleeman down on Pit Law. He's our pit lane reporter today, so he's letting us know that these guys are pretty much racing every day of the week, and again, twice on Sundays. So these drivers no strangers to each other. They know what they can get away with, how hard they can push without running over each other and making a few new friends on the racetrack. So that's the biggest thing. When you run with the same group of guys, be it weekly or multiple times a week, you get comfortable. You know each driver's ability and what they may do. Oh, no, Uribe has a moment and almost gets in the leader of Rockefeller. Uribe is going to lose that lap back he had gained. I believe that was the 44 of Manzo who might have had a moment. Then you saw Rockefeller and Uribe check up, try and avoid the carnage. So that's the last thing Rockefeller wants right now. He wants to stay out front, click off some laps, keep it under green flag conditions. There's Brett Redder. He's behind Mr. Jeff Paisley. Paisley in 7th, or excuse me, in the number 7 machine in 5th place. He's down 2 spots from where he originally started. Brett Redder in the 97 machine, he's up 13 spots. Both these drivers running very, very similar lines. You can see Paisley kind of hugging the apron a little bit more than Redder. But these guys are going to try and carry as much speed as they possibly can. Peyton Johnson in 4th place. He's getting passed by the 25 machine of Colt Lanford. Lanford is a lap down. So Johnson playing it smart, doesn't want to have anything to do with lap traffic right now. Just wants to stay out there, collect some laps, wait for the next caution to get him synced back up the leaders. But man, we've got a battle. It looks like Brett Redder falls off the pace. Paisley gets by Grunewald and Redder. Lap traffic still causing excitement. You saw Manzo at the top of your screen in the number 44 machine. He's going to let Redder to buy him as quickly as he can. Knows, hey, there's a race going on. I'm not quite in it. But just like that, it's like Manzo throws a little bit of a pinch on Redder. Good, clean racing across the field here tonight. There's Jerry LeGrand in the 28 machine. He was currently running 10th. Had some problems early on, but he's getting out there. He's getting the seat time. That's the most important thing. We're over halfway through this race at this point. And the biggest thing these drivers can take away from these recruitment races, there's no points or anything on the line. There's no awards, just a little bit of bragging rights. But this is much needed practice and data these drivers are collecting for later on in the official season. If there's ever a time to make mistakes, have problems, have a bad night, this is it for the final recruitment race before we start off next week. Rockefeller pretty happy where he's at. He's over at 1.5 seconds off of his best pace in the session. But this long green flag run really, really helps set him up. Clint Rice in 2nd. He's on 22-lap older tires than Rockefeller right now. So last time by, Rockefeller put down 23.6. Rice put down 23.7. So even though Rice is on much older tires, I think Rockefeller is in prime time tire-saving mode right now as he gets ready to navigate more traffic. And just like that, yellow flag is out once more here at Dover. Not sure where that crash was. Oh no! Uribe gets ran over. I guess it's sorted back out. Not quite sure what. Oh no! Uribe gives it the business and just drills the outside wall. That was a very odd crash. Not sure if he had problems or what might have caused that. Let's see. Uribe, the first incident, the number 25 gets in the back of him. That's going to be Colton Lanford. Maybe Uribe started having internet problems or I'm not quite sure what that was, but caused the first moment. And then watch this. Uribe just gives it a little bit too much throttle, I think. Oh, missed that one. Sorry, we'll get back here. So gets it sorted out. And then we're going to listen to the onboard here. Almost like he missed a shift or something happened and sends Uribe for a wild ride in the outside wall. So Uribe not having the race he wanted tonight. As we bring out our 7th caution of the night here at Dover. A lot of guys coming into pit lane that time by. You've got Jason Rockefeller, he came in, Clinton Rice, Davis Hartwell Cornell, Peyton Johnson, Brett Redder, Jeff Paisley, Josh Thompson. Pretty much the majority of the field. Now Jeremiah Kershaw The number 11 machine shows you on the yellow, the red machine, the red and black number 11. He's going to stay out. His last pit stop was on lap 33, so long time ago. So he's going to come in and take fresh tires. A very, very smart decision there. As with almost 40 lap older tires and those around him, he would have quickly ran over and could have caused a big, big incident. So Clint Rice, he's up to second now. And the number 42, Sartwell Cornell's worked his way back up to third. You can see a few drivers out front. I thought we're going to get a wave around, but it looks like they're going to get shuffled to the back here. I believe it's going to be only 13 drivers still on the lead lap. So the field's getting whittled down here at Dover. It continues to eat cup cars like it's going out of style. A little bit better green flag runs starting to form up on today's forecast at Dover. Now all these guys doing their absolute best. It's just a very tough track to figure out. And you've got weird problems like it happened with a rebate, something you just can't really account for. Next thing you know, it's calamity out there. So live timing shows 12 drivers on the lead lap. There we go. We're going to get a wave around. I believe that's going to be for Pollock, I believe, is going to get one wave around. So I believe he's still going to be one lap down. Or no, he might be able to make it. He might be on the lead lap this time by. Yeah, Pollock is going to be on the lead lap, so that's going to move the number 1 up to 13th and on the lead lap. So I mean, just like that, that's all it takes is to have another shot back into it with a little bit less than 50 laps to go so far. Looks like drivers still may be single file restarts here since there was a flurry of cautions early on into the night. Not sure if we're going to go back to double file or if race control is going to give it an all-night single file rule. Try and calm things down. Looks like pretty much everybody's on the same pit cycle here. Everybody's on a fresh set of tires. Full fuel. We did see Charlie Gates. He had a long pit stop, 28 seconds. He might have been getting a little bit of damage fixed on that number 55 Ford Mustang. Brett Redditor, though, he is up 14 spots so far, so well done to Redditor. With Redditor Paisley Racing doing a great job, the 97 machine, trying to keep it clean. He's, we saw him a couple times highlighted in a couple of the incidents, but for the most part, none that were really his fault, or at least blatantly his fault. So let's see if the 97 machine can pull something happen. He's currently in a good spot, at least to bring home a top 5 tonight. As we get ready to go green, we're going to watch Rockefeller. He's out front of number 12. Clint Rice, he's in the 42 machine, second place. David Sartwell Cornell in third and 17. Then Peyton Johnson, fourth. Brett Redditor, fifth for the restart here at Dover. Rockefeller's going to stack him up behind them. They go bumper to bumper. And then Rockefeller, once he hears Clint Rice back off just a little bit, he gets back on the gas. It's a big, big launch, but Rice keeps him in tow. David Sartwell Cornell, he's running comfortably in third. Looks like the field's been pretty happy, single file here. Nobody's stretching out too much. Josh Thompson, though, and I believe that's going to be Josh Thompson battling with Jerry LeGrand. Josh Thompson running the high side. Legrand's going to get down low, make it squeeze by. Here comes Charlie Gates Jr. He's on the inside, missing a front bumper, which might be affecting his arrows. You see that car get a little bit loose there in the 55 machine. He's running the low line, having a little bit of problems as they stack up 2 by 2. You've got Josh Thompson, Charlie Gates Jr., Jeremiah Kershaw, Brett Grunewald all in the mix here. 2 by 2. Good, clean racing so far. You can see how loose these guys are getting on corner exit, trying to get a little bit better drive than those around them. Ooh, number 13, Josh Thompson gets a little bit loose, a little bit sideways, and we had a driver disappear for a moment. That's going to be the 55. I believe Charlie Gates Jr. with a little bit of problems. He has a massive blink. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Race control will definitely be keeping an eye on that. Jerry Legrand, they're doing a great job running clean in the 28 machine. Behind him, you've got Charlie Gates Jr., Brett Grunewald. They're all battling for that 6th, 7th place spot. As you see, Brett Grunewald, he's going to look to the inside. Jerry Legrand can't quite make it stick. And then here comes Jeremiah Kershaw as well in the number 11 machine, trying to get in on the action. We're going to take it back out front. You got David Sarwell Cornell. He's battling with Clint Rice. Peyton Johnson also in the mix. Johnson and Cornell are going to get by Rice. They're going to take over 2nd and 3rd. Rockefeller has a huge gap right now. He's about 1.7 seconds ahead of 2nd place. David Sarwell Cornell as we approach lap 86, getting ready to start. And a good battle for 2nd is underway. Johnson's going to look to the inside. Cornell on the outside. They're going to trade back and forth spots. Johnson gets a little bit loose, trying to drive harder out of that inside line. It's a very tough place to get on the throttle, make the power come down. Cornell's going to get a little bit of a gap as Johnson and Rice start to battle it out. Johnson, number 15 machine, still running that low to mid line. Rice running a little bit higher, but man, Johnson's got bad internet problems here. He is all over the racetrack. That's going to make it very nerve-wracking for Rice and Redder, who are in tow. And he keeps having if Johnson keeps having problems, you may hear race control ask him to get out of the way of the current race. So hopefully that does not become an issue for the young man. And just like that, here comes Redder on the inside of Clint Rice. Redder tries to get high, make it stick. Looks like he can with a little bit of a slide job. But leaves the door open on the inside for Rice. Redder swoops back down low, maintains the position. Redder up to 4th place. He's up 15 spots from where he started. So well done to Redder. Good racing starting to develop. We get a little bit more green flag runs. We're about 15 laps into this run from our last caution. You're watching the race right now between Clint Rice and Jeff Paisley. This is your battle for 5th as you see Paisley dive to the inside, trying to get the spot on the 42 machine, but Paisley gets a little bit loose. Hold on to it, Jeff. And the number 7 machine gets all out of sorts, and Rice is going to be able to put about a 2nd gap on currently 6th place, Jeff Paisley. Oh, big crash up front. Peyton Johnson's involved, Brett Redder involved, David Sarwell Cornell involved. So watch this right here. This is David Sarwell Cornell. Looks like Peyton Johnson just gets loose, gets too much apron, gets into the inside of Cornell. And then look at this. Here comes Brett Redder. He's going to make his way through the mix. Relatively unscathed. So Redder, I believe he got through clean on that one as Sartwell Cornell and Peyton Johnson get stuck in the wall together. So that's going to move Redder up 17 spots into 2nd place right now. You can see some of the field come in, taking tires, maybe using a fast repair. Some of those top 3 guys have kept it clean all night long. Peyton Johnson going to the pits, David Sarwell Cornell, Charlie Gates Jr. all in the pit lane now. Josh Thompson's coming in. Brandon Pollock's coming in. So these guys may be planning for a little bit of another green flag run. We made it just about 20 laps that last time by. Green flag run starting to get a little bit cleaner. Looks like the Dover apron strikes again. So Jason Rockefeller, he's been pretty much the man to beat all night. Started off at the very back of the field, worked his way up to the front, and has been clicking off a bunch of laps led here. But Brett Redder, kind of the dark horse, the 97 machine. He's up to second place, up 17 spots. And let's not forget Chuck Pegleg Feltz, the number 75 machine. Feltz, he's up to 7th place. He's up 10 spots so far. So Feltz, aka Pegleg, with JBR Motorsports, has worked his way up the field with a little bit of carnage early on. You can see the battle scars of the number 75 machine. That left rear has definitely been used and abused from contact with racers and drivers and the wall all alike. Well, let's see. It's going to be about 30 laps to go once they restart. Looks like the top 7 all on the same pit strategy. All these guys that came in around lap 74, 75. Behind that, between 8th and 15th, you've got guys pit cycle anywhere between lap 74 and 91. So about 20 lap newer tires. I think the lead cars being David Sarwell Cornell and Peyton Johnson of that kind of second pit stop pack. Sarwell Cornell and Peyton Johnson, again, just involved in that last incident on the racetrack. They were running 2 and 3 respectively, and then kind of got into each other. Peyton Johnson touched the apron, got up to the inside of Sarwell Cornell, and brought out our last caution, the 8th caution of the night. So we know those drivers, they're currently 8th and 9th. They were top 2 and 3. We know they have the pace. Will they have the green flag run to make it back up to Rockefeller and challenge for the lead? Or will another caution come out and then the field may flip here? Again, much like the All-Star race we saw on Fox Sports with the real-life NASCAR race. A lot of inverted grids going on, a lot of excitement. And more of the same here at the Original Rebel Racing League Late Night Series recruitment race. Looks like the field is going to be allowed to go to double file restart on this one. They were awarded after a good green flag run. And it's going to be Rockefeller and the number 12, or the number 12 on the inside line. Brett Redder, again, the dark horse tonight, the 97 machine. He's going to be starting on the high side tonight for this restart. Behind Redder, you got Clint Rice in 3rd, Jeff Paisley 4th, Jeremiah Kershaw 5th. And let's see what the field can do here. These tires are about 20 laps old, so they're just at the edge of their life here. Let's watch Rockefeller. He's been getting great launches all night long. He's going to stack the field just a little bit, and away he goes. Redder not with the launch he wanted, but looks going to be good enough for second. But here comes Clint Rice. He's going to try and dive it down the inside of Redder. Redder gives him the preferred line. Redder stays high. He's going to try and block number 7 of Jeff Paisley. Paisley, number 7 machine. He's down 1 spot from where he started. Currently running 4th place. Redder is going to try and get a tow from Rice, I believe. Gets a big run on the number 42, currently in 2nd. Looks like they both do. They rapidly catch up to our race leader, Jason Rockefeller. Redder goes to the inside. He's going to get by Rice. Gives him a little bit of a pinch. There might have been some contact there between the 97 and the 42, but they hold on to it. Number 7, Jeff Paisley, dives down the apron. He's trying to get a little bit of speed. He gets by. Oh, that was close. He gets by Rice, goes back, yields the spot. That was a very, very risky pass. Redditor's back up to 2nd, but Rockefeller's kind of checked out right now. Your race leader, Rockefeller, has a 0.6 second gap as the battle for 3rd really heavy underway between Clint Rice currently in 3rd, Jeff Paisley in 4th. The number 42 of Rice and the 7 of Paisley have been going back and forth all night. We know Paisley has great pace. He's been diving down the inside of his competitors with about 27 laps to go here at Dover. Still lots of racing remaining. We're going to take it back to Charlie Gates Jr., the number 55. He's going back and forth with Jerry LaGrange and 28. This year battle for 6 right now on screen. Oh no. LaGrange almost got into, it looked like he was pegged like Phelps on the inside, managed to collect himself, load himself up a little bit, take a second to breathe. That's okay as long as you're racing smart. Peyton Johnson, though, he put down the fastest lap of this last time by. He put down 21.88. Johnson is on newer tires compared to everyone around him. The rest of the field's kind of putting down mid-22s here. As Johnson has the good tires, he's back up to 4th place after a big crash with him and Sorbo Cornell. They're going to take it 3 wide down the back straight for a brief moment. Peyton Johnson's going to move his way up into 2nd. So now you've got Rockefeller with a 2-second gap over 2nd place. Peyton Johnson. Behind Johnson, Clinton Rice in the number 42 machine. And then Brett Redder's rapidly falling off the pace. He's down to 8th right now. Redder has a big moment. So Redder loses about 7 spots in that exchange. Colton Lanford's coming to the pits. Jeremiah Kershaw coming to the pits as well. As we start clicking them off. Now the question here is, can Peyton Johnson reel in under Rockefeller under green flag conditions and make it stick? Or is all this hard work and pit strategy going to be for naught if a caution comes back out? Right now Johnson's rapidly reeling in Rockefeller, who's out first. Johnson was about 0.7 seconds faster that last time by. So the next 2 laps, you should see him pretty quickly catching Rockefeller, current race leader. As these guys are diving to avoid traffic. That's going to be the 25 of Colton Lanford, who is having big internet problems. Peyton Johnson has to check up aggressively. Lanford can't really predict where he's going to be, so these guys have got to be communicating. Oh no, Lanford disappears as he tries to go high. That's going to set Johnson pretty far back as he gets stuck battling lap traffic. Rockefeller's extended his lead back up to 1.2 seconds. We know Johnson can reel him back in, but that was 2 laps pretty much wasted there as Johnson got stuck with lap traffic. Last lap time shows Johnson is 0.3 faster than current race leader Rockefeller. But here we go. You're going to see Johnson really putting the pedal down. He wants to be in front of Rockefeller if the caution comes out. He wants to be able to control this race in the pit strategy. This is the battle for the lead right now. Johnson is on 15, 16 lap newer tires than current race leader Rockefeller. Is Johnson going to dive down low right now? No, Rockefeller's going to defend the inside line. Oh, hold on to it. Peyton Johnson almost gets in the back of number 12 machine. Lets him know he's there. He's going to dive to the outside, but now Johnson's got internet problems. Johnson with a huge blink. Next thing you know, he reappears back in front of Rockefeller, and that's your new race leader. Oh, what's going on behind him? That's once again the 25 Colton Lanford. What is oh no! Colton Lanford involved. Oh, this is out of control. Lanford's got too bad of internet problems to continue here. So I'm not sure who is involved with Lanford's crash there, but somebody took a hard hit against the 25. 25 locks it up. Gets to the inside wall. Still on the gas, though, trying to save it. Realizes a little bit too late. Hey, I'm not going to make this. Gets back on the brakes. Let's see what happens here. So Lanford just disappears from your screen. You can't drive around that. You can't predict it at all. And shows back up in the middle of the racetrack. And just like that, crashing again. And not really sure the how or the why. How that happened. But let's look here. You're going to see some big contact. Oh, no. That's Sorbo Cornell. Has bad luck, and he gets into the 25 that's just spinning around the racetrack there. So that's going to shake things up. Peyton Johnson, he's your race leader, is Rockefeller. He comes in for fresh tires. Paisley, Rice, LeGrand, Feltz, Redder, they're all in pit lane. Expecting to see these guys take 4 tires. Now Peyton Johnson, now he's the disadvantage with on lap 108, 17 laps to go. Now he's on the slightly older tires. He's on 17 lap old tires. And then Rockefeller, Rice, Paisley, LeGrand, Redder, Feltz, they're all going to come out behind him on the fresh set. So now it looks like Rockefeller might have the pace to get back up there. But he is behind 3 or 4 really good drivers. He's got Johnson up front, Thompson second, Charlie Gates Jr. third, Hitman Manzo in fourth, and then Rockefeller will be starting in fifth on this restart. So the question now is, if we stay green, can Rockefeller get his way back up there and check out from Johnson? Or are we going to run out of laps here with 16 laps to go? It's going to be about 15 to go on the restart. Will Johnson be able to hold on to his slightly older tires? Let us know what you think. Who are you betting on? I'm excited to see some good racing. Looks like it's going to come down to pit strategy here. Not sure if Johnson made the best call staying out or if he used all his tires already, hoping for that final green flag run. But now he's got to drive the wheels off the number 15 machine, and while also trying to make tires last at Dover. That's a really tough spot to be in. Drivers after the race, we will be doing interviews for the top 3 tonight. So get ready. This is going to be your third call, or your first call, excuse me, for post-race interviews. So we did get a report earlier on. Pollock did have a hardware issue. His VR goggles did not make it through the race, so that explains one of his incidents tonight. So just like real life, you can have mechanicals in sim racing. We've got folks across the world, they're cheering for Rockefeller, currently in 5th place, but he does have the tire advantage here. Josh Thompson, Peyton Johnson up front. They're going to stack the field up just a little bit. They want those guys behind them with fresh tires to have to really work their way to the front and really drive the wheels off those things, maybe cook some tires some. But let's get ready. With a little luck, this might be your final run, or you might see a couple more cautions come out. It's going to be 14 to go. Once these drivers cross the line, it's anybody's guess. Can Peyton Johnson at 15 hold on to it with slightly older tires? Josh Thompson, he's up in there in the mix. You've got Charlie Gates Jr. all last pitted on lap 91. Hitman Manzo, he pitted last 74. And then a massive field of drivers behind him that all pitted on lap 108 with fresh tires. So Peyton Johnson, though, still having internet problems. He's been in and out pretty drastically. Oh, no! What happened there? Charlie Gates Jr. gets into the wall. That's going to send Rockefeller around. Rockefeller's in it bad. Oh, this is not what we wanted to see. Charlie Gates Jr. involved. Jason Rockefeller. Pegleg Feltz involved. Hitman Manzo. Brett Grunewald all involved. That's not good at all. So watch this. Watch the number 55. Looks like he gets tired, a little bit of wheel spin, and just pushes aggressively up the wall there. Jason Rockefeller nowhere to go. He gets on the inside of the 55, does his best to hold on to it, and he goes around. Number 44, Hitman Manzo, looks like he might get in the back of Rockefeller just a little bit, and man, carnage behind him. So not what you want to see this late in a run. A lot of good drivers collecting that one. I believe all caused initially by wheel spin from my point of view. So just like that, things looking better for Mr. Peyton Johnson. You got Peyton Johnson still out front. Josh Thompson, he's there as well. But look, here comes Clint Rice in third. You got Jeff Paisley fourth, Brett Redditor fifth, all on a fresh set of tires. But man, Rockefeller, one of the fan favorites, got involved in that one. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to come back out on the lead lap and stay in contention, or he may be done here. Now, Rockefeller may have that fast repair still in his back pocket, but with a 1 minute pacing lap, it is a very, very tough spot to be in get out, and stay on the lead lap. So let's see if Rockefeller can do it here. Rockefeller's going to go out. Does he stay in front of the pace car? I think he does. So I believe Rockefeller's going to stay on the lead lap, as we are on the 10th caution of the night. 12 laps to go. So it's going to be shootout after shootout trying to get to the end here. So Rockefeller is going to be starting in 8th place on this restart, if we're reading that correctly. It should be about 10 to go. Now, Rockefeller does have the freshest set of tires. So his last pit was lap 113 compared to Peyton Johnson's lap 91. So Rockefeller is going to have to make some very aggressive moves and maybe ruin some friendships to try and get up there for the front, because Peyton Johnson, Josh Thompson looking pretty good going into this. But there's 3 drivers that are in the top 5 with very fresh set of tires. Clint Rice, Jeff Paisley, Brett Redder. They're going to be able to push very, very hard off the restart after these tires are already scuffed in. They've got heat in them. It's going to be one good shootout here at the Original Rebels Racing League recruitment race at Dover. I'm excited. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. So we're going to wait for that iRacing pace car to make its final way around before it comes into pit lane. Looking like it's going to be a single file restart. No, we're going to do one more lap, get them formed up, see if they go to double or not. So after it's all said and done, we've got 10 drivers still on the lead lap that have been able to hold on to it despite some of the carnage we've seen here tonight. These guys are going to form up 2 by 2, about 5 rows deep for the top lead pack that's still in the lead lap. And let's see, can Johnson and Thompson on their older tires hold on to 1 and 2? Or is it going to be Rice, Paisley, and Redditor on those new sets of tires that are able to push through the field? It's going to be 9 to go at the line. Not a lot of racing left in tonight's feature. Anything can happen, especially at Dover. The Monster Mile, 150 miles around this, guys. Everybody's doing their best to hold on to it, keep it clean, and gain some final positions and get some last bit of practice in before we go into our season opener next week, 11 p.m. only on Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, 1080p, 60 frames a second, bringing you the action every week here at the late night session at the Original Rebels Racing League. Pace car is in. We're watching Josh Thompson, Peyton Johnson. They're your front row. Behind them, Clint Rice, Jeff Paisley, then Brett Redder and Hitman Monzo in the third row. They are away. Oh, no. Josh Thompson gets a terrible start. Maybe a little bit of wheel spin. And that's going to allow Clint Rice to get by. Here comes Brett Redder and Jeff Paisley as well. Those guys are on new tires. Can these guys have enough laps to try and catch that leader, Peyton Johnson? Johnson's got about half a second over third place. Clint Rice, though, he's got open air in front of him. He knows he can push. He's not too worried about Josh Thompson right behind him. Thompson's doing him a favor and blocking Paisley and Redditor, who are on those new tires. Oh, no. Paisley gets loose. He gets in the inside wall. Doesn't look like he's going to bring out a caution. Here's the question. It's 8 laps to go. They're battling very, very hard for third behind them. Redder's trying to get around Josh Thompson. It looks like he can make it stick. Redder moves himself up to third. Jason Rockefeller, he's moved back up to fourth. 7 laps to go. Still not sure what's going to happen here. Clint Rice all over the back of Peyton Johnson, number 15 machine. He's got the tires. He's got the pace. Johnson throws a block to the inside. Rice looks to the high line. Maybe do a little bit of high-low maneuver here. Caution is out. Paisley involved in another incident. Oh, here we go. Now I think we get slides. We've got Paisley involved, Nicholas Wacker, Hitman Monzo all involved. So Paisley, number 7 machine, had a pretty rough couple of laps there. Got on the inside wall by himself. Let's see what happens here. The number 7 Voodoo machine just not having the night he wanted. Looks like it's going to get loose once more. You see him. He knows it before it's happened. Those hands are working the wheel back and forth, sawing it, trying to make it happen. Paisley goes up the racetrack, hits the outside wall hard, the number 7 machine, and just can't quite get out of it. It looks like he starts to snap around back on him again, puts him once more to the outside wall, gonna send him to the inside. Oh no, there goes the number 44 and the number 8. They're involved. That's Hitman Monzo. He's involved. The number 4 is involved. Just not what you want to see from the guy. So hate to see it for a lot of really good drivers. But again, as far as bad news goes, at least it is on one of the final recruitment races of the season. Just like that, though, 9 drivers on the lead lap. You got Peyton Johnson holding on for dear life in first place, but not sure if he's going to have the pace with Clint Rice, Jason Rockefeller, Brett Redder right behind him with those fresh sets of tires. Josh Thompson, he was one of our front riders. He's back to 5th place right now after trying to stay out on those older sets of tires, not doing himself any favors. So we're going to re-rack them. It's going to be... This might put us into green-white checker conditions. So it's going to be 3 to go when they cross the line here. It'd be about 2 to go if we get this thing fired up and going. Right now, things are not looking super great for Peyton Johnson, the 15 machine. Rockefeller was all over him as that run developed with fresh tires. I believe this is going to put us into green-white checker. I believe. We'll have to ask race control on that one. But man, Peyton Johnson, he's out there on a pretty old set of tires now. Just a swarm of angry bumblebees behind him with fresh rubber and a whole lot of talent in this field. So, can Peyton Johnson, 15, hold on to it? Clint Rice, he wants a piece of it. He's up 2 spots from original starting spot. Jason Rockefeller had a roller coaster overnight. Started off on pole, started from the pits, worked through his way through the entire field, got up front, involved in some cautions, a little bit of yellow flag shenanigans, and we got somebody blowing up at the back of the track here. I believe that's going to be the old Hitman Monzo in the 44 machine. It is, he let the smoke out of that engine. That is not what you want to see. So Manzo's going to have to get off the racetrack here. I'm not sure if he knows he's blown up yet. Because he's still circulating. And that is not going to work out on a restart. So we got to get the 44 machine off the racetrack with a quickness. He will not be able to keep pace once this green flag comes out. So that's going to be terrifying to watch. We're going to form up the field. I believe this is green-white checker conditions. Clint Rice up front, Peyton Johnson up front, Jason Rockefeller, Brett Redder, a bunch of big hitters here. Number 15, you're not expecting him to get a good launch, but Jason Rockefeller's right behind him. These guys are on the inside lane. Rockefeller's got to make quick work of Johnson if he wants to get up there for the lead. Looks like Rockefeller's trying to time that start just right. Right now, Clint Rice, though, in probably the best position on this restart. He knows Johnson on his inside's got the older set of tires. If Rice can get a good launch and Brett Redder can follow behind him, it's going to look good for that outside line on the restart. Let's see what happens. We're looking for that outside line to get a good launch here. I'm not expecting great things. Peyton Johnson's going to get a little bit of wheel spin, but no, he proves me wrong. Johnson gets a great start, goes to the high line. Bryce in second. Here comes Rockefeller down the inside. He's going to try and get something working against that 42 of Clint Rice. Rice, look how much more speed he's able to carry than Johnson. Rice going to dive it down the inside of the lap on the number 15. 2 laps to go. It's going to be one way across the line. Here comes Rockefeller. He's going to go to the inside. Just like that, Peyton Johnson's getting worked to the back. So now as you're battle for the lead, Clint Rice out front. Jason Rockefeller second. They're putting down an absolute show. The white flag is out. I think Hitman Monzo is still out there with the blown up car. Oh no, Rockefeller gets loose. He gets very loose. Barely holds on to it. That allows Peyton Johnson to get back up. Checker flag is out. It's looking like it's going to be Clint Rice here at Dover at the Monster Mile 150, sponsored by Magic Mike Motorsports. So well done to Rice. That was a very well-deserved finish. Rockefeller, he worked his way up to second after a roller coaster of a night. Rockefeller gave him a little bit of friendly bump to his friend Rice. And then Peyton Johnson able to bring it home with the older set of tires. So well done to Johnson. He managed to hold on to it. Very impressive driving. Drivers, this is your third and final call. If you're in the podium, we'll meet you in the waiting room. We'll drag you up here. As Clint Rice does a well-deserved victory burnout. Let's get the unofficial grid result, or the results of the race. You're going to have Clint Rice in first, Jason Rockefeller second, Peyton Johnson third, Brett Redder fourth, Jerry LeGrand fifth, Joshua Thompson in sixth, Charlie Gates Jr. seventh, Brett Grunewald in eighth, Chuck Feltz in 9th, Hitman Monzo in 10th, Jeremiah Kershaw 11th, Nicholas Wacker 12th, Jeff Hazley 13th, David Starwell Cornell not having a great night in the 17 machine. He finishes 14th. Colton Lanford will be 15th, Brandon Pollock 16th after his VR headset problems. Mike Uribe, he's going to be finished 17th, William Griffith in 18th. Then finally, Ryan Williams Jr. in 19th and Brandon Wallace in 20th. So we're going to hang out for a second, see if we get any drivers through the waiting room. All right, so we've got a few of the guys getting in here. They heard the third call warnings. They're going to get up here. We've got still waiting on Peyton Johnson to see if he's going to make his way up here. We'll give it just a couple more seconds for our drivers to sort their way up here. First in the booth, we're going to get Joshua Thompson, the number 33 machine. Josh, you didn't have the night you really expected tonight. What happened, man?
We had a little tangle up there in the beginning of the race, but we, powered through it, tried to get ourselves back up there. It's all about tires there at the end. A lot of cautions, but for the most part, I mean, it was a pretty good race. A lot of guys there that were really battling it out.
Yeah, Josh, I think if this is any sign to come for the season that's starting next week, we can expect to see green flag runs once drivers know that points are on the line, and if you crash early on, it's going to really mess up not just your race but your championship. Now, you are one of the lone Toyotas up there. Do you have big plans to try and finish up front of the season, or you been working on strategies in the off season? Where's your head at going into the season debut next week?
Well, definitely strategy. Like you said, there's going to be a lot of good racing this season. There's a lot of good guys in this league, and for the most part, I believe that strategy in the end with these long green flag runs is what's going to be the difference maker this season.
Well, awesome, Josh. I hope to see you up here more often. I know sixth place is not where you wanted to finish tonight, but maybe we expect to see good things from you next week. Before we let you go, anybody you want to thank from your team or folks watching along at home?
Yeah, I just want to thank the league, you guys for broadcasting, and my teammate Jason Rockefeller. He got into me there earlier on the race, but it was just good, hard racing, and no harm, no foul.
All right, Josh. Well, we appreciate it. We'll see you at the next one.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
All right. Up next, you've got second place finisher. That's going to be Jason Rockefeller bringing it home, the number 12 machine. Always the coolest looking car out there from a broadcaster's point of view. Jason, do you read me?
Yes, sir.
Jason, good run tonight. We thought you might have had it, but just didn't quite get the run you wanted, and it looked like you were still fighting a loose car on that final restart.
Yeah, we had that second to last restart there. I had to pit, and I think or we were just restarting fifth there, and one of the guys up front, they ended up spinning the tires. I tried to go as low as I could, and I got clipped, so I had to go in and take my fast repair. Saved him for the end, so that was good, even though we hit the wall a few times. But I tried the hardest I could there on the last restart. The 42 kind of slammed the door on me and gave me any opportunity I could to go chase down the leader initially on the start. But yeah, definitely a loose race car, loose setup, but it was definitely fun to drive in the long run because it tightened out.
Now, Jason, early on in the race, we saw you qualify on a pole and then start from the pits. Was that just for race practice, or did you have something going on tonight?
Yeah. Once the session transferred over into the race, I thought that my steering ratio wasn't right, and I like driving at a 16-1 because I just like to be able to turn the wheel more. And I ended up remembering not to do it, and I had to back out, but I lost track of time, and I ended up having to do it. So we had to start at the back there, but we had a hard charge there up to the front, so I'm proud of myself for that.
Yeah, absolute roller coaster every night. We had people from across the world cheering you on in tonight's broadcast. That's always cool to see the folks at home, fellow league racers, all cheering for their comrades out here. Do you have any big plans to run? Are we going to run the entire season that starts off next week, or are you going to be a here and there driver?
We plan to race full time. Both me and Josh Thompson, Thatcher, my cousin, we're part of Avengers Autosport. We have a good little thing. He told me about this league and everything like that. I appreciate everything that everybody does in here. Trying to run full time. I'm gonna try to run as much as I can, depending on with work and personal life and everything like that. But hopefully we'll be able to knock out the full season. Excited for Daytona next week.
Excellent. We're looking for big things from your team. Before we let you go, the floor is yours for any shout-out sponsors or friends at home.
I got to thank Rowdy Energy for sponsoring me for their affiliate program. They do a lot of good things there. Pick yourself up a pack of Rowdy and online using my referral code, or just go to the store and purchase that. I got to thank Josh for being a great team leader and me and him practicing a lot. Got to thank everybody from Original Rebels Racing League, the Discord, everybody for putting on a great show, iRacing for providing this great platform for people like us who don't exactly have the money to go out and race and give us something to do and keep our mind on this.
Well, awesome. Well done to Rockefeller. We know you're going to be one of the guys we expect to see on the podium a bunch with the season debut, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us tonight. 150 miles here around Dover. It was definitely a bloodbath from all of our drivers. I believe over 10 cautions tonight. About 10 drivers finishing on the lead lap, so we lost a lot of good race cars out there, but these guys used this final recruitment race as a chance to kind of work out the bugs before we go into the season opener at Daytona next week. So I'm expecting some good, clean racing going forward next week. Hopefully we'll be seeing a little bit bigger grids. 20 cars showed up for a recruitment race, which is fantastic. So looking forward to some more good, clean racing. As always, on behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting and the Original Rebels Racing League, I'm James Easton in the booth. I appreciate you all tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Have a good night.